Have you ever woken up in the morning, stretched your arms, taken a deep breath, and thought, it's just another ordinary day? For most of us, the morning is a quiet rhythm of routine. Getting out of bed, heading to the bathroom, making tea or coffee. But what if some of these very habits, the ones we do without a second thought, were quietly putting our health at risk? Today I want to share a story that many of us might see ourselves in. A 72-year-old man living a peaceful life in the countryside, active, well-nourished, full of life, suddenly collapsed in his garden one morning. No signs, no warnings, just a moment that changed everything. Could there be small things we're overlooking each day, especially in the early hours, that make a big difference to our well-being? In this video, we'll gently uncover 3 common morning habits that could be doing more harm than good, and learn how simple, mindful changes might help us live longer, stronger, and more peacefully. If you've ever wondered how to protect your health without overcomplicating your life, stay with me. This might be the reminder your body and your future has been waiting for. Tip number 1, avoid overexerting yourself before breakfast. It happened on a quiet Tuesday morning. James Miller, a 71-year-old widower from Spokane, Washington, stepped outside just after sunrise. The air was cool, the sky painted soft pink, and the birds were chirping like they always had. James had spent most of his life waking up early. It was a habit carried from his years as a mail carrier, always on the move before most people had their first cup of coffee. That morning, he glanced at the weeds creeping into his garden and thought, why not pull a few before breakfast? But 10 minutes later, he felt lightheaded, his hands trembled, and a cold sweat broke across his forehead. He sat down on the porch, his heart racing. He hadn't eaten. He hadn't even sipped water. Just got up and pushed forward like he used to. His doctor later told him, James, at this stage in your life, you have to think of your body differently. It's no longer about pushing through. It's about preparing gently. And she's right. As we age, our bodies respond differently. Slower to warm up, more sensitive to sudden demands, and far more vulnerable when running on an empty tank. Yet many older adults fall into this very trap, waking up and jumping into chores, yard work, or even exercise before their body has had a chance to truly awaken. It's a pattern rooted in discipline, responsibility, or simply habit. But after 70, these early morning bursts of activity, especially on an empty stomach, can quietly become dangerous. You see, overnight, your body enters a natural state of fasting. Your blood sugar is lower, your muscles are slightly dehydrated, and your heart rate is slower. Your entire system is still easing out of rest. Asking it to suddenly spring into high gear without any fuel is like trying to drive a car with no gas, or worse, trying to race it with a cold engine. Doctors often compare the body in the morning to a machine that needs a warm-up sequence, one that begins not with movement, but with nourishment. And it's not just about energy. In the early morning, your body naturally releases more adrenaline to get you going. This adrenaline can cause a slight spike in blood pressure, a completely normal response. But combine that with sudden physical exertion, like lifting heavy objects or doing yard work on an empty stomach, and you've got a potentially dangerous cocktail, especially for seniors with heart concerns. Heart attacks, strokes, dizzy spells, and fainting. These risks don't always show themselves until it's too late. Many people, like James, experience a warning sign, and they're lucky if they get one. So what should the morning look like instead? Start slow, start with intention. Before you step outside, step into your kitchen. Begin with a glass of warm water with lemon or herbal tea to rehydrate your system gently. Then choose a breakfast that's light but energizing, like oatmeal with sliced banana, Greek yogurt with nuts and honey, or a slice of whole grain toast with avocado and a poached egg. These aren't just trendy foods. They're gentle on the stomach and packed with the nutrients your brain, heart, and muscles need to transition into movement. And movement is still important, just not rushed. Instead of lifting, bending, or gardening, try this. Stand by your window, stretch your arms overhead slowly, inhaling deeply. Roll your shoulders back. Gently rotate your ankles. Take a short walk inside your home or on the porch. Feel your body wake up with you, not ahead of you. This is not laziness, it's wisdom. There's a profound strength in knowing when to ease in, when to breathe first, When to pause and nourish yourself before asking your body to serve you again. After decades of being on the go, perhaps your mornings can now be quieter, more mindful, rituals of self-care instead of races to productivity. James has since changed his routine. Now he sits by his kitchen window with a cup of tea and half a grapefruit, watching the light filter through the trees before he even thinks about doing anything physical. He still gardens, still walks, still tends to his home, but he does it after breakfast, after breath, after honoring the body that has carried him through so much. He told me once, "It's funny. For 40 years, I thought getting ahead meant getting up and getting straight to work. But now I know, getting ahead at this age means slowing down just enough to stay safe, stay strong, and stay here." That's a lesson worth remembering, so tomorrow morning ask yourself this: are you waking up with gratitude and gentleness? Or are you rushing into tasks without first caring for the vessel that's about to carry you through the day? Before you water the plants, water your body. Before you dig into chores, feed your muscles. Before you move, breathe. Because life after 70 isn't about proving how much you can still do. It's about doing it wisely, about living longer and living better. And sometimes that starts with something as simple as breakfast. Tip number 2, avoid standing up too quickly after waking up. It was just another Tuesday morning for Mr. Albert Hayes, a 74-year-old retired carpenter from Pennsylvania. The sun was barely up, and the soft light crept across the edges of his bedroom window. Albert had always been an early riser. Decades of building homes, fixing roofs, and raising a family had trained his body to wake before the world stirred. That morning, like so many others, he opened his eyes, swung his legs over the side of the bed, and stood up. Only this time, something felt wrong. Within seconds, his vision blurred. His knees buckled. The room spun around him like a carousel. Thankfully, Albert caught the bedpost just in time. He sat down quickly, breathing hard, heart racing. "What the heck was that?" he muttered aloud, shaken but grateful he hadn't fallen. Later that week, his doctor gave it a name: orthostatic hypotension, a condition where blood pressure drops suddenly when you stand up, leading to dizziness or even fainting. And it's far more common than people think, especially after age 70. We don't often talk about how we start our days. We focus on goals, chores, appointments, but the way we rise from bed may be one of the most overlooked keys to protecting our health and independence as we age. When we sleep, our bodies enter a beautiful state of rest and recovery. Our heart rate slows, blood pressure drops, muscles relax, our systems reset, preparing for a new day. But here's what most people don't realize. Waking up isn't just about opening your eyes, it's a transition. One that should be gentle, not rushed. Standing up too quickly right after waking up can cause a sudden dip in blood pressure. In medical terms, it's called orthostatic hypotension. In real life, it feels like the floor slipping out from under you. Dizziness, faintness, sometimes even falling. And for older adults, that fall can be life-altering. Think about it. You're in the bathroom, half asleep, and you suddenly stand up too fast. You lose balance. There's a hard tile floor, a sharp countertop corner, a misplaced towel or mat. What happens in that 1 second can change everything. Broken hips, head injuries, long recovery times, or worse, a permanent loss of mobility and independence. You might have experienced it already. That moment of unsteadiness after standing, where the room spins and your legs don't quite catch you. You blink, hold on to something, and tell yourself it's nothing. But it's not nothing. It's your body whispering, "Slow down, I need a moment." Let me share another story. Diane Rivera, a vibrant 76-year-old former teacher in Arizona, used to call herself a jump starter. "I'd always pop right up out of bed and be halfway down the hallway before I even realized I was awake." She laughed. But one morning she didn't pop up. She fell, hard. She was on her way to make coffee when her vision went white, her knees gave out, and she hit the floor. The fall bruised her hip and cracked her confidence. "It wasn't the pain that scared me," she later said. "It was the thought that I couldn't trust my own body anymore." Her doctor told her the same thing Albert's did. Your heart, your blood vessels, your brain, they all need a moment to sync up after sleep. The body you've lived in for decades is still strong, but it needs a gentler rhythm now. Diane now has a new rule. She calls it the pause of peace. Every morning when she wakes, she doesn't rush. She lies still for a minute or two. She stretches her arms and ankles. She rotates her neck gently from side to side. Then she sits up slowly, letting her feet rest on the floor. She takes a breath, looks around the room, and lets her body adjust before she ever stands. She hasn't had another fall since. So how can you make this shift in your own mornings? Start with a change in mindset. Waking up isn't a race, it's a reunion with your body, your breath, and the gift of another day. When you open your eyes, give yourself a moment to simply exist. Take a few deep breaths. Gently move your fingers and toes. Wiggle them, rotate your wrists and ankles. These small movements help wake up your circulation and prepare your body for sitting and standing. Next, roll onto your side and push up into a seated position. Don't leap, rise slowly. Let your legs hang over the edge of the bed. Plant your feet flat on the floor. Sit there for 20-30 seconds. Take a few more breaths. Let your body stabilize. Finally, when you feel steady, stand up. But do it with care. Use a nearby chair or bedpost for support if needed. And once you're upright, pause again. Let your body catch up to gravity before you begin walking. These few extra minutes may feel small, but they protect you from a very real danger. You see, aging isn't about giving up. It's about adapting. It's about treating your body with the wisdom it has earned. You wouldn't rush an old friend through the door without a proper greeting. Why rush your own body through the start of a new day? Taking your time in the morning is not a weakness. It's a strength. It's a sign of awareness. It's how you protect your freedom, your mobility, and your dignity. Albert now keeps a small note by his bedside. It reads, "Slow to rise, steady to live." And Diane? She says those few extra moments each morning remind her that she's still in charge. It's not just about avoiding a fall, she told me. It's about starting my day with grace. So tomorrow when you wake, don't rush toward the day. Meet it gently. Feel the warmth of your blankets. Listen to the quiet of the morning. Stretch, breathe, sit, stand with care. Because how you start your morning may very well determine how safely and joyfully you live the rest of your day. And after everything you've lived through, don't you deserve to begin each day with peace, not panic? You do. Tip number 3, avoid straining when using the bathroom. At first glance, this might seem like a small detail, something we barely notice, something we all do without much thought. But sometimes the smallest habits carry the greatest risks. Especially as we grow older, certain routines that once seemed harmless can quietly become the reason our health takes a turn. This was the case for Mr. Walter Jennings, a 73-year-old retired electrician from Illinois. For years, Walter lived a disciplined life. Up by 6 a.m., coffee and toast by 6:30. Then the bathroom, a place where, like many people, he believed efficiency was key. In and out, he used to joke. No time to sit and daydream. But one morning things changed. Walter had been feeling a little constipated for a few days, probably from skipping vegetables and drinking more coffee than water. Determined to get it over with, he sat, leaned forward, and pushed harder than usual. What followed was terrifying. His vision went dim. A sharp pain struck his chest. For a few seconds, he felt dizzy, breathless, like something wasn't quite right in his heart. He managed to steady himself and avoided a collapse, but his doctor later confirmed it was a blood pressure spike triggered by excessive straining. It was a wake-up call. "I never thought using the toilet could affect my heart," he said, "but it nearly did." The truth is, straining in the bathroom, especially during a bowel movement, can place unexpected stress on your entire body. You see, when you push hard, especially without the right posture or preparation, you increase pressure inside your abdomen, and that pressure doesn't just stay in one place. Your heart feels it, your brain feels it, your blood vessels respond. For older adults, this can become a dangerous chain reaction. The pressure can slow blood flow back to the heart, reduce oxygen to the brain, and create an environment where sudden spikes in blood pressure are more likely to happen. In extreme cases, it can even lead to fainting, a stroke, or a heart attack. especially in individuals already living with hypertension or heart disease. And the irony? Most people don't even realize they're doing it. It becomes habit, an unconscious moment of stress in a private space. But your body always remembers what your mind forgets. Let's look at another story. Margie Fields, a 70-year-old widow and grandmother from San Diego, prided herself on staying busy. She gardened, walked daily, and baked cookies every Sunday for her church group. But for months, she had been quietly struggling with irregularity. Days without going to the bathroom, followed by mornings of discomfort and straining. "I didn't want to talk about it," she confessed. "I thought it was just something that came with age." One Sunday just before church, she tried to force a bowel movement. The result wasn't just pain, it was a fall. When she stood up, lightheaded from straining, she lost her balance and hit her shoulder on the bathroom counter. Thankfully, no bones were broken, but it was enough to make her change her routine. A neighbor later introduced her to the idea of the footstool method, a simple wooden stool under the feet while sitting on the toilet. "I thought it was silly," Margie laughed, "but after just 1 week, I felt the difference." So what can you do to protect your body and bring ease back into one of life's most natural routines? First, understand this. Your body is not working against you. It's just asking for better support. One of the easiest changes you can make is adjusting your posture. Western toilets force the body into a seated position that doesn't allow for full relaxation of the bowel muscles. By placing a small stool under your feet, raising your knees slightly above your hips, you mimic a squatting position. This allows your colon to align more naturally and makes elimination easier and more gentle. Many seniors report less strain and faster relief within days of making this adjustment. Second, hydration is key. Water softens stool, supports digestion, and keeps your intestines moving properly. Yet many older adults drink far too little, often because they want to avoid nighttime bathroom trips. The solution? Space out your water during the day. Start with a glass upon waking, sip between meals, and drink herbal teas or diluted juices as part of your routine. Aim for about 6 to 8 cups daily, unless otherwise advised by your doctor. Third, look at your diet. A fiber-rich plate is a friend to your colon. Fruits like pears, apples with the skin, prunes and berries. Vegetables like broccoli, spinach and carrots. Whole grains like oats, brown rice and quinoa. Legumes, nuts, seeds. These are not fancy superfoods, they are everyday champions. Not only do they ease bowel movements, but they reduce inflammation, nourish the gut, and support overall well-being. And finally, don't hold it in. The urge to go is your body's natural rhythm calling. Ignoring it out of convenience or embarrassment can lead to harder, drier stool, making the next trip even more difficult. When the urge comes, honor it. Margie now begins each day with a warm glass of water and a 15-minute morning walk. "It's amazing," she says. "I don't need to strain anymore. I sit down and things just happen naturally. It's like my body says, thank you." Walter, too, has changed his ways. He eats oatmeal with flaxseed and fruit every morning. He uses a small stool in the bathroom and listens to his body's signals rather than rushing through them. "It's not something people talk about," he says, "but it's made my mornings calmer and safer." So if you've been rushing, forcing, or ignoring those uncomfortable moments in the bathroom, here's a new way to look at it. Going to the bathroom isn't just a routine. It's a moment of care, a moment to breathe, to let go, to support your body instead of forcing it. It's not about weakness, it's about wisdom. And when you start your day without strain, without pressure, and with ease, you're not just protecting your heart and your brain, you're setting the tone for a day lived in gentleness. So tomorrow morning, take a few extra minutes. Use a footstool. Breathe deeply. Let your posture do the work. And listen to your body's messages, those soft signals we often tune out. Because those signals, they are invitations to treat yourself kindly, to live more gently, to take care of the vessel that has carried you through the years. After all, the quietest habits often carry the loudest impact. Thank you for staying with me until the end of this video. I truly hope that these simple yet powerful morning shifts will help you feel more balanced, energized, and in tune with your body starting tomorrow. If even one of these insights resonated with you, I invite you to subscribe so you won't miss the next conversation we'll have about living fully and aging wisely. And if you'd like to share your thoughts or experiences, simply comment "small changes" below. I'd love to hear from you. Remember, taking care of yourself isn't about perfection. It's about presence, about listening to your body with kindness. Wishing you mornings filled with peace, strength, and intention. And in the next video, we'll uncover even more gentle ways to protect your health and live with purpose. One day at a time.